Hi guys, I'm going to do my face routine, my foundation that I use, the powder, the blush, everything that I do in the morning before I do the rest of my face. So basically anything that's not eyes or lips. And the foundation that I'm currently using is the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection one in number 2 Ivory. I don't actually know if they do a number 1, I've never really seen one anywhere. But this is basically my drugstore version. The only two products that aren't drugstore are my blush and my highlight, because my drugstore versions are not with me at the moment. I've just run out of both of them, typical, so I'm waiting to repurchase them. Well, I'll probably repurchase them after this video and they'll come after, but I wanted to get this video up and made for tomorrow. So this is what my face routine looks like, and I will get onto the tutorial. So the first thing I do when I'm doing my face routine, which is my foundation, my powder, my blush, highlighter, all that, what I do is before I put all that on, I put on my new day cream that I've got, and it's the Garnier Essentials Hydrating Day Cream. This is the one with the rose water in it. I've already applied this on just to save time, but this is what it looks like. And then next, I let that sit in generally for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I will generally go and do my hair, or I will go and do some other kind of thing. I might go get dressed, or I might go eat breakfast or something like that while that's settling into my face. Then next I use my foundation, which is the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear 16-hour wear foundation with SPF 20, and this is in number 2 Ivory, if that's going to focus. There we go. So this just comes already with a pump, and these are $5.99 for a drugstore foundation, and I've had this 2 months, and I think I've only used about that much. I only got it 2 months ago, and I've only used that much, and I use it every day. I've only used that much, so it's really good value because I used my MAC one, practically all of it in a month. So I just put one pump onto the back of my hand. I've already sanitised my hand. What I do is I just do one pump and then I go back as necessary. And then I just take my stippling brush. I always use this for my foundation. Don't know why, I just always have. And I always start on my cheeks first. So I just dip it in and then start swirling. And I take it down on my neck as well to stop any tide marks or whatever you call them. So I just bring that onto my cheeks, and I dab a bit more and just take it onto my eye area. I just do circles and then kind of bring it out. Oop. Like that. And then I do see how that side of my face, I don't know why, it just looks completely different to the other side. And then as you can see, I have a couple of imperfections and spots. So I'm just going to do the same on this side. And take it down onto my neck again. And this just blends it all in as well, and doesn't make it look like I am wearing foundation. And then same again. This is just the routine. I've always done this no matter what the foundation is. I've always done the exact placement all the same on all of my foundations that I've had. And I just take a bit and I pull my lips in, and I just go over my mouth area. So I'm going to be very quiet for this. And then I'm going to put some on my nose as well. Just a pretty basic explanation of what I'm doing. And then the last that's on my hand, I just take on to my forehead. And as you can see, I have one of the palest skin tones going ever, and I don't find that it properly makes me a funny colour, well, orange. Then I'm going to take a tissue and just wipe the excess off the back of my hand so it doesn't stay on my hands, because I go and wash my hands after I've washed my face. So once I've used that, and I need one pump for my entire hand, I take my concealer, which is this one, and it's by E.L.F, and it's the Tone Correcting Concealer, in Ivory. This is the test of my camera, if it can pick up that. Oh wow, yay camera. And then I'm just going to take this on all the places that I think need concealing. So I'm going to do it under my eyes. It smells like sugar oranges as well. On any little spots I may have. I generally just put a bit on my chin as well to lighten it up. I don't think I've got any more. Oh, one there. Or any like freckles or anything that are particularly big. And as you can see, it's a much lighter colour. So I just give that a couple of minutes to like kind of air dry, because I'm sure I learnt it somewhere that if you leave your concealer a little bit, it, like, I don't know what it does, it doesn't wipe off when you put it on, if that makes sense. So then I just blend this out with my fingers. And I prefer using my finger than a concealer brush, just because I find that my fingers heat the product and warm the product up a bit more. So that way the product works better, I find. And I like bringing it out onto like kind of the tops of my cheeks there to give me that almost like Kim Kardashian lightened glow that she has there under her eyes. And then these are all Drugstore products, as you can tell. And then I'm going to take my NYC Smooth Skin Translucent Loose Powder. Oh, and that's just gone everywhere, as you can tell. And I'm just going to take a massive fluffy brush, dip a little bit on the brush, and then stir it into the lid. Let me put that down before I get it everywhere. Just get a bit on my brush, and then I'm just going to swirl it over. I'm not going to like buff it in really hard, because I found like when you buff the powder, you sometimes take away some of the like product. And then just do the same to the other side. Ooh, I forgot about that bit, concealer. And then I take it onto my neck as well, because even though you have put foundation there, you still need to like set it, because there's nothing worse than this starting to come off while this is still on. So that makes, it doesn't really help the problem. Then I do the same on the forehead. And a little bit on my nose as well. And I just set a bit more on the areas that like are more likely to come off, like my nose and my forehead, and wherever I've put concealer I just like do a little bit more. Then usually I will put on my blush and highlight. What I like to do at this point is set my face with my E.L.F. Makeup Mist and Set. Now all the prices and everything for these will be in the description box, but they are all like cheaply priced. So I just hold this away from my face and I'm just going to spray it. Like that. I generally do one spray and then one spray like face on, and then four like that, just to get like all over my face. And then I let that dry, and then generally oh my god, I can't speak. The blush and highlighter I use on Drugstore at the moment, but I will still show you the blush. Why can't I speak? The blush and highlight that I use at the moment. The blush that I use at the moment is this one by MAC, and it's called Pincho Peach. And it's just a lovely like peachy pink blush. As you can see, it looks peachier in some lighting and then pink in others. And then the next highlight I just use is just this one. Just a lovely pink toned highlight. Just looks like that. And I love using this for highlight because my skin tone is more like pink toned. So what I'm going to do is, just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put them on anyway. They aren't Drugstore, but alternatives that I like to these are, to this blush, my alternative is E.L.F's Studio Blush in Tickled Pink. I find that's a really good dupe for this one. And then for my highlighter, another good dupe is either High Beam by Benefit, but that's not that cheap. But there is the E.L.F highlighter as well. So I'm just going to blend this into my cheeks in little circles, buffing it back. And yes, I make the fishy face. I am aware I make the fishy face when I do this. And I make sure I blend it in, even the edges, because there's nothing worse than seeing someone who's done it in a straight line and you can see the lines. I hate it when people do that. Now I'm just going to do the same on the other side. That. And then for my highlight, I'm just going to use the same blush brush. I'm just going to take some on my brush and then just bring it across the tops of my cheekbones. I can get my hair out the way. Across the tops of my cheekbones even. Then down my nose and a little bit on my cupid's bow, and that is all I do for my face routine. The only two things that are not Drugstore are my blush and my highlighter at the moment, but for them two alternatives, I haven't got them with me, otherwise I would have used them. It is the E.L.F Studio Blush in Tickle Pink and then the E.L.F highlighter in Luminance. So that is everything that I use for my Drugstore routine, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!